Whenever you run for office, you can expect the opposition to dig through everything you said uh, in for the past 10 years, 20 years to try to get a gotcha moment, gotcha. And that's what the left has done with JD Vance. They found this clip where JD Vance was informally talking to Tucker Carlson, and it's the cat lady video. It's got all the childless cat ladies foaming at the mouth. Take a look.
Saying is that we're effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made, and so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too. And it's just a basic fact. You look at Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, AOC, the entire future of the Democrats is controlled by people without children. And how does it make any sense that we've turned our country over to people who don't really have a direct stake in it?
All right. The question is a couple things here. Number one, how should JD Vance handle this? I think the worst thing you can do is try to backtrack and, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I was insensitive. I shouldn't have said such a thing. I was callous, but I apologize and I'm learning and I'm growing and I'll take a sensitivity class and I want to hear from you. I want to learn. No. Stop that. That is weak ass bitch stuff. No one respects it. Even if you do that, you're not going to win over more voters. They're just going to assume you're being dishonest or you're weak. No, if you have convictions, stand with your convictions. We need men, yes, I said men, that will stand for their convictions of what's right and wrong. It doesn't matter if it just gets people hysterical. This happened with Ronald Reagan when he referred to the Soviet Union in the 80s as an evil empire. And I was alive back then. There was a lot of the left and the media was like, oh, you can't say that. Oh, you can't call them evil. Oh, that's a faux pas. You got to walk that back. And Ronald Reagan didn't. He stood his ground. And then, now we don't find that as a controversial statement. But at the time, it's like, oh, you can't say that. Sometimes you have to say the truth and speak the truth. And people respect you more. They may not like it initially, but they will give you some respect, at least, that you stand by what you say. And what J.D. Vance said is not wrong. The spirit of it is 100% accurate. And how J.D. Vance should respond. If I was J.D. Vance, how I would respond is in this matter. Okay, I'm going to channel my J.D. Vance. I'm Ramsey Paul, Vice President. I made such a statement. I could have, because I agree with it. All right. When you give an interview in an informal context like this, you have to understand this is not meant to be legalistic or a scientific discussion. You're talking about general ideas. And for example, if I make the statement that, oh, Arkansas is a hot and muggy state, well, is that true? Well, no, most of the time it's not true. Fall and winter's nice. And even in the summer, sometimes we have cool days. But when I say that, it's not invalid in an informal sense because you understand I'm talking about summer and it can get real hot and sticky. And so it's a true statement. And we discuss this in general with ideas. And when I made this statement that we're ruled by childless cat ladies who are miserable, and by the way, I included Pete Buttigieg in this, homosexual, that are miserable and trying to make our lives miserable in government and in the corporate oligarchy, I stand by that. This is an issue. Now, are there exceptions? Sure. There's many women, they choose not to have children. They can't have children. They're very wonderful women. So it's not like 100% case that all women are in this category that don't have children, or women that love cats. Hey, I love cats. Who doesn't love cats? I love cats, dogs. That's not the issue. The issue is a certain type of woman that doesn't really have a stake to the future. Their idea is just to live their lives, party, get drunk, travel, and have abortions. That's their life. But that doesn't lead to the future of the country. And we need to have a vision, both men and women, that have a stake in the future of the country. And can you have a vision and a passion about the future of the country if you're a childless woman? Yeah, sure. But in general, there is a subset that are making our lives miserable. And Kamala Harris represents that. She's like the HR lady that is hassling you, that is berating you. We don't need this. We need to encourage family formations. That is how the civilization is based on. It's not based on the government. It's not based on the Constitution even. It's based on a family. And a family means a mother and a father and children. That is the ideal. No, we shouldn't have these crazy cat women that are bitter ruling over us. In. See, now that would be good because you're clarifying, but you're not, you're doubling down. You're saying what I said was basically true, and there are issues with this. This is how you do it. This is how you deal with controversy. I hope J.D. Vance, he will be asked that question. I hope he answers in a similar way like I did. That way it comes across, you're explaining, or yeah, I don't mean everyone, obviously, but I'm talking about a spirit that you see among some women that is destructive to this country, and we can't have that if we're going forward. Now, personally, I consider J.D. Vance a liberal in this matter because I don't believe in the 19th Amendment at all. I don't know if J.D. Vance does. But if he's going to say this, he just needs to stand firm because this is important. This is important. We need to be able to speak the truth if we're going to move forward. We can't hide from these things. And from just a purely political point of view, it's not going to help J.D. Vance to try to disavow what he said. The Childless Cat Ladies that, drink their box wine every night, they're not going to vote for Trump anyway. There's just no way they are. The women with the driving with their Subarus, with a BLM sticker, a homosexual flag sticker, and a coexist sticker. Yeah, no, they're not going to vote for you anyway. So whatever you say is not going to change that. So don't worry about that demographic. Worry about the people that really build the country, that are the core of the country. That's what we need to focus on. And those crazy cat women, especially if they're young, so in some cases I do have sympathy for them. If they should find a good man, you see these same crazy cat women that are all worried about, aborting their children. After they get married and they have children, they will take the politics of their husband. We see this all the time. Women change very easily. And if married women, they tend to follow the politics of the husband. Women who aren't married, they are de facto married to the state or the regime or whatever the establishment is. And the establishment right now is very left-wing. So by default, that's how women think. They go with fashions. We can't let that upset us. That's just the reality of the situation. It's one of the reasons we shouldn't have the 19th Amendment. We should have one vote per household, and either your husband represents a household or the father. That is the way it should be. But we're not there. But we have to move forward and state these truths. Otherwise, there's no way going forward. So that would be my advice. Don't worry about the crazy cat ladies. They're not going to vote for you anyway. And the point you made, J.D. Vance, was 100% valid. Talk to you guys later.